hard-fought victory and probably the closest sweep you'll ever see. I think it was very hard-fought in a lot of ways. And credit Brooklyn, they came out with everything tonight. What we expected from Durant, the passing wasn't going his way, so he got aggressive, took 31 shots, and so got himself going and showed who he is. And for us to do that, it shows who we are as a team. And we always talk about that, well-rounded, balanced. We're not relying on one or two guys. And so, unfortunately, JT was out and out most of the fourth quarter with foul trouble, and other guys stepped up and made huge plays. And that's really what we pointed out to the team, not only defensive stops, but all on the offensive end. Different guys handling, initiating offense, making plays, and Marcus, Al, getting those extra offensive rebounds, and so that's where the balance comes in.
You've been around a lot of great players as a player and a coach. What can a series like that for Jason against someone like Kevin Durant do for a young player like Jason?
I mean, it's a good barometer, obviously. We've talked to him about being the guy every night he steps on the court, and you could tell he was extra motivated for this series and that matchup. And wasn't on one end only trying to score on him. He was taking the challenge defensively as well as the rest of our group. And so for him, it's more of the same what he's been doing all year. Like I said, it's well chronicled that I told him to go at certain guys and not respect anybody too much, and he relishes those moments. And so it's a big test for him. A guy he knows well, playing against several times, obviously, with the Olympic team, and they kind of had a good thing going with each other this summer, getting to know each other. So it's a good test for him that he did well in.
You were the team that didn't want to dodge Brooklyn coming into the playoffs. How much do you feel like that message helped you guys have that edge in the series?
Yeah, I mean, we said it quite openly. We're not running from anybody, and we'll let the chips fall where they may, and want to play our best basketball going into it. Obviously, the final day, some teams did what they did, and we had to win, because we could still go from 2 to 4, and so we still have things to play for. But the overall message that I'm going to give the team and that they relay back to me is we're not scared of anybody. I'm not going to run from anybody. And, if you're going to win, you got to go through certain teams at certain times anyway. So might as well get a really good test early, and I think it'll help us going down the line.
The Marcus Smart experience this year has been obviously mostly positive. He leaves Kyrie alone to try to get that improbable steal against Durant, but then comes back and fouls Durant in the back court, so he won't have a chance. I mean, that seemed. Did he know that? Did you know that? Was he instructed to do that, or was that just kind of his brilliance to know that you want Durant to try to tie it in with three?
Yeah, I mean, Marcus is going to be Marcus, and you live with those moments because most of the time he's going to make the right play, defensively and offensively. And it takes me back to all those years with Manu and kind of seeing what Pop was going through. And I always said Manu be a Manu because he's going to gamble at times and burn you, but more often than not, he'll make the right play. And that's what you have to do with instinctual guys like that, not take their aggressiveness away. And, next play he comes back and almost gets a steal. But, that's the first thing he said to me. We don't want to, maybe we didn't want to foul that far in the backcourt, zigzag a little bit, take some time off the clock, but he was very conscious that it was a three-point game and put him at the free throw line. And so, like I said, defensive-minded guy, and that's the way he thinks about it. And like I said, we'll take those plays all day because he's going to make more better ones than not.
Was Jalen grabbing his hamstring a little bit at the line there last time he was on the free throw line? Looked like the right hamstring.
I didn't notice.
One of your big things going into this series was making their stars guard, kind of attacking them. Mm-hmm. How much was tonight a culmination of that effort and maybe some good fatigue set into it?
Yeah, and I've mentioned it quite a few times, our guys being well-balanced, play both ways, and there's not a lot of guys you can attack on the defensive end, but also offensively we can put a lot of guys in actions, and a big part of us trying to wear them down was making them have to defend. They got some, obviously, high-level defenders, and they got some guys that they'll try to hide at times, and our main thing is making Irving and Durant work on both ends. Obviously, we knew what we were trying to do offensively to make it tough on them, but defensively going at them as well and putting them in actions and not letting them have nights off. And so I feel we did that. A lot of guys stepped up and obviously have been playing at a high level in this series, and that Jason, kind of going at guys, putting different guys in actions, I think has been beneficial for us to kind of wear Irving and Durant down.
You see a guy like Nick who makes 10 free throws, is that kind of factoring into the way you guard a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, going into the series, it was a point of emphasis with Drummond shooting 55 and him shooting 52. And so, obviously, we took him out of our ATO at the time that we did foul coming out of timeout. But any chance he gets for any easy baskets, we don't want them to get momentum plays, and that's what him and Drummond do. So we wanted to hack those guys from the get-go if you don't have foul trouble. And so that was one of our points of emphasis going into the series.
You mentioned the low margin of victory. Given your struggles in close games in the regular season, does it help to get some early reps or some reps and some success down the stretch of close games?
Yeah, I think we had quite a few late in the season, some closer wins that we had to grind it out. We had, a lot of 20-point wins as well, but we knew coming into it we'd have to get tested, and I think we were, and we've improved in that area late in the season. So, as I mentioned, after Game 3, the playoffs are a different animal, and you can take those experiences and kind of amplify them times 10 in the playoffs, and I think we passed a lot of those tests, especially with the foul trouble with JT tonight.
What do you attribute to the
A look at the playoff bracket in the East. The Celtics moving